Evaluating and feasibility. In this lesson, we will talk about what makes an idea good, along with other factors like feasibility to evaluate your business idea. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to identify what makes a good idea, understand the concepts of feasibility, scalability, and also understand what business models are. We've explored different sources of business ideas, and also hopefully you know now and have many different wonderful ideas. In the brainstorming stage, it's good to think of many ideas as possible, and we can move on to the filtering stage where we can select the best ideas. But how can we know if an idea is good? Firstly, a good idea should be focused. Instead of having multiple ideas on what to do and trying many different things, it's better to have a specific idea that excels in a particular area. For example, if Ruth wants to open a cupcake bakery that also provides cleaning services, this idea would lack focus. Instead, Ruth can just narrow down her ideas and concentrate on a bakery that specializes in custom-made cupcakes on a pre-order basis. This is also a good idea because it focuses on Ruth's strengths, which is something that you can do too. Focus on your strengths and things that you know you are good at. Also, it's a good idea to have a unique selling point, commonly known as the USP. A USP is a special feature of a product that sets it apart from its competitors. It's, in simpler terms, something that makes your product unique and special. Just imagine this. A customer comes up to Ruth and asks, what makes your cupcake very special or different from the bakery next door? A USP can help Ruth answer this. Her USP would be creating handmade custom cupcakes using all organic ingredients. You should have an idea of the business you would like to start, and with a good business idea in mind, we can proceed. But before we proceed, we need to think of whether our idea is possible and can grow. Your business idea should be realistically achievable, and this would involve answering questions like, is it possible? Is it realistic? And can I make it work? We can use the SMART goal framework, as we learned before, to help us. If we can use and create a clear SMART goal for our business, it is likely to be feasible. So let's say Ruth's goal is to sell 100 different cupcakes in 10 towns in the first year of her business. Now, this is clearly a goal that is not a SMART goal. Instead, Ruth can make it like her goal to be selling in 4 different cupcake flavors in one town for the first year of her business. In this second year, she can then choose to increase the cupcake flavors and also increase the towns that she wants to sell in. The business should have a potential to grow and become a larger business. A business should have the flexibility to adapt to different customers and locations. In order to help a business grow, for example, Ruth could choose to expand beyond cupcakes, making cookies and cakes too. Additionally, it is important to check if there is sufficient demand for the product or service that you are trying to provide, meaning that there should be enough people who are willing to pay you for your services or product. For example, in Ruth's case, if Ruth only made durian flavored cupcakes priced at $100, well, I'm not sure if there are going to be a lot of people who would be willing to spend that much on one cupcake. Plus, not everyone likes durian. However, if Ruth offers chocolate and vanilla cupcakes priced at $10 each, it is possible that there's more demand for this, which means that more people would want to buy this. Plus, Ruth can create different flavors of chocolate and vanilla cupcakes. Here are some questions that you can ask yourselves to check if your idea has the possibility to grow with your strengths and access to resources. For example, finance and supplies. How many people would be willing to pay for my product and services? Can my ideas be copied by others easily? This shouldn't be the case if you have a strong USP. By asking these questions, you can determine its potential for success, growth, and the feasibility and scalability of your business. Now, feasibility and scalability can be tricky concepts, so we can make it easier by using a business model. A business model is a company's plan for making a profit. It's important that you think about how your business can make money. A business model can be broken down into 3 main concepts, which are product and service offering, anticipated expense, and the target market product. And services offering refers to what the business is selling. For Ruth, she's selling cupcakes. Anticipated expenses refers to the predicted cost that she will incur to run her business. It is important to write down the likely cost of running your business so that you know if your idea is feasible. It can also help you with budgeting and financial planning, which we will talk more about in the later sessions. In Ruth's case, her anticipated expenses include the cost of rent, capital she needs to start her business, and any licenses that are required. These are called fixed costs because they do not change no matter how many cupcakes Ruth makes. So even if she makes 0 cupcakes, she would still have to pay for these costs. Other costs would include ingredients like flour, sugar, eggs, as well as packaging and cupcake wrappers. These are variable costs because the costs change based on how many cupcakes are ordered from Ruth's bakery. Once the costs have been estimated, you will get an idea of the big picture and understand how much you will need as a baseline in order to keep your business running. This may also help with making important financial business decisions. For example, would it make sense for Ruth to pay a very high rent to start versus spending that money on promoting her cupcakes? We'll learn more about financial management later. Last but not least, your target market. This refers to the group of people you want to sell your product or services to. Ruth's target market could be families who live in her town, or as they like to host parties and events where they would be interested in ordering cupcakes. We will talk more about target markets and marketing in the later session. And that's how you make a business model. After this process, you might find that your idea is lacking in some areas. Don't worry, you can repeat this process up until you get an idea that you're confident about. That's all for this lesson. To recap, we talked about the importance of having a focused idea with a USP. We introduced the concept of feasibility and scalability, as well as the components of a business model. We hope that you learned a lot from this session, and I'll see you in the next one.